Yo, what's up? Um, Welcome back. I gotta edit the stream title though. Should have put the number in front of it, but I guess that's an accident. But
Are made for.
how do I edit this, bro? Um, it's been a little bit since we streamed last. I think I fixed it. There we go. Been like 5 days, but yeah, I've been working on it a little bit. Just I've been at work, I guess. I didn't feel like streaming and playing some games, but thought I'd just turn on the camera for a bit today. But I guess we can kind of show what we got. Let me just make sure my mic's working. Cool. We can show what we got. So we got kind of I've been playing around the terrain generation. Again, it lags a bit. Oh, jeez, look at this lag. Oh, lag. Jeez. I mean, the terrain generation is pretty bad. I mean, we got some sort of biomes going, but I mean, it's pretty garbage. But I kind of want to make these mountains a little bit smoother. I'm not really sure how to do that. Guess it's something that I have to look into in a way. But I mean, we're at least unloading, generating chunks. We got kind of looking biomes. It's you can see laggy as fuck. Been doing some research. I think because I'm doing everything on the same thread, the same main thread. I think I got to figure out how I can kind of generate these chunks in the background. Do I have a lot of experience with parallel programming or generating things parallel? I mean, a little bit maybe from university, but it's kind of all gone out the window. So I guess the stream is going to be me kind of researching and kind of figuring out how to implement something like this. We've obviously, we obviously don't want to simulate the draw calls in the separate thread. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to generate the chunks in the background and then have like a worker queue and send them to the worker queue. I think that's kind of the idea. Jeez, I'm going to sneeze. But yeah, before we get started, we can take a look at the problem of the day. Rotating digits. Rotated digits. So we're given an integer x. After rotating each integer individually by 180 degrees, we get a valid number that is different from x. Each digit must be rotated. We cannot choose to leave it alone. A number is valid if each digit remains a digit after rotation. For example, 0, 1, and 8 rotate to themselves. 2 and 5 rotate to each other. In this case, they rotate in a different direction. In other words, 2 or 5 gets mirrored. Okay. 6 and 9 rotate to each other, and the rest of the numbers do not rotate to any other number and become invalid. Okay. Given an integer n, return the number of good integers in the range 1 to n. Cool. Cool arena. Let's take a look here. Dynamic programming. I mean, we have small constraints here. Smaller constraints. I guess we can start off with brute force. So we're given an integer n. Pretty much, let's just do, let's just do like in count 0, while count is less than n. I guess we probably want to include n, so let's do less than or equal to n. Less than or equal to n. We can probably find the number here. Now, to find the number here, we're using an integer here. We can grab the last value. How do we grab the last value? I think we like mod 10 it or something. I gotta search it up. To grab the last value of an int using modulo. I can't remember how to do it. Okay, so we grab the last digit. Okay, last two digits, mod 10. So I guess we can probably let's do int old int is it equal to n. I guess we're at count right now, right? We probably, yeah, sorry, we're at count. What are we doing? Let's do int old int is equal to count. Then we go, I guess we can do this like new int. And then we can go int last digit is equal to new int mod 10, right? Which grabs the last digit. Then we can okay, so we've got the last digit. What do we want to do? Guess we can make like a method to do these checks, right? So let's do rotate num, and we can just pass in the last digit, right? Just kind of separate this. I guess it's easier to solve. So we're going to return an int, rotate num. We're just going to pass it in, copy it in. It's only an integer, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, but last digit. Dude, I'm gonna sneeze again. Oh my gosh, dude. Ugh. Jeez. Let's just simulate the rotation. So we got an int here. Let's make a private section. We can hold our return value here. Rotate num. Okay, how do we rotate this? So I guess we can do just a bunch of switch on the last digit, right? Case 0. I guess we would just return 0. I can't even remember how the switch break or something. Oh, sorry. Let's just int rotated value. Have our case 0. Rotated value is equal to 0. Break. Can't even remember how the syntax for this, dude. Honestly, like. Hello, it's Sepsa. What's up, bro? Welcome to the stream, dude. This is doing the problem of the day. And we're gonna jump back into the problem. Okay. Yeah, we have the switch here. Last digit, case 0. I guess, yeah, they're all the same, right? So we have case 0, 1, and 8 are all the same. Case 1, case 8. Case 8, we just want to rotated value is equal to last, oh, it's equal to end of life X. What's up, dude? Welcome, guys. Welcome. We'll be streaming the Minecraft project in a second. I just like to do these daily problems. Keep the brain sharp, you know, low key. Okay. Then 2 and 5 rotate, 6 and 9, right? So let's do case 2. We can do rotated value is equal to 5. Case 5. rotated value is equal to 2. What's up? What's up? Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. Low key. Type shit. Type shit. We want 9 here actually. Then we want a case 9. Rotated value is equal to 6. Okay, I think we've got everything. We got 0, 1, 2. We don't have 3, so I guess we want case 3. Right. What are we missing? 3. We want 4. We got 5, 6. We want 7, 8, 9, and then I think this would be it, right? Here we would just. Geez, what would we return? I guess we can just return something invalid, right? Let's just do like rotated value is equal to -1 or something like that. Yeah, we'll just do that. That's fine. Then we know it's we've got our breaks here though. Okay, guys, you can't be forgetting our breaks. Break. Okay, cool. So let's just return our rotated value. I guess we can just default it to -1, low key. Then we don't even need to have these cases here. That's fine. Okay, so this is our method here. We just grab the rotated num. So now we know what the rotated num is, and then we probably want to just build that rotated num, right? So I guess. Wait, shit, no. I don't even understand the instructions, LMAO. Yeah, this is the. I might as well show you guys what we kind of got so far. I mean, I'm just doing the daily problem here, but I'll show you guys what I got so far in this game. Game's kind of slow. I mean, it's pretty unoptimized, but this is what I got so far. I mean, we're generating the chunks and everything. As you can see, these biomes look pretty shitty. I got to kind of figure out how I can like smoothly transition into like mountain biomes, sand biomes, and plains biomes. Right now, each biome, so each like chunk, 16 by 16 chunk is its own biome. So there's no like smooth transitions. So I got to kind of figure out a way to do that. And honestly, I'm using a library called Fast Noise Light, and I have absolutely no idea how to do that. So probably got to look at some other projects and some other ways to figure out. But I mean, you can see here, like, I mean, you can see it's a little laggy as we like generate chunks. That's kind of what we're going to work on today, the multi-threaded part of it. Now we're inside the mountain right now, bro. Pretty litty and shit, but that's what we're going to work on. I have a general idea about how we're going to do the multi-threaded stuff, but I got to do a little bit of research too. But in the meantime, let's solve this problem. Simulate the rotation, right? We grab the rotated number. I guess if int rotated num is equal to this, if the rotated num is equal to -1, we just want to continue, right? Else else if the rotated num, this looks pretty nice. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's a work in progress. I just kind of want to get like a basic clone. I'm not going for like a full, you know, Minecraft clone. You know, you can't even build that. I'm just trying to get like generating biomes and, you know, breaking and placing blocks. It's just like a little project to get better with graphics programming. So that's the goal. Actually, low-key, let me play some tunes, bro, so we can kind of vibe a little bit, bro. Fuck, man. What sort of music should I get some? Should I get some crazy EDM going on in here, bro? Maybe some lo-fi or something. I don't know. I feel like my stream will get shut down. Shit, not a huge fan of lo-fi, but I guess the music is better than nothing, right? Let me know if the music's aids, I'll turn it off, but if it's -1, we don't want to do anything with it. Otherwise, if rotated num does not equal our last digit, then we want to do something. Otherwise, else, we want to continue, right? Because then we just know that this digit is bad, right? Technically, because the rest of the numbers are, these numbers rotate to themselves. Actually, we probably don't want to continue. We probably still want to build it. Right, because it still could be different, I guess, in a way. Get a valid number actually, it's just project leave it alone. So, given an integer and return the good integers in the range, and a number is good, the number is valid if each digit remains a digit after rotation. So, each digit individually, we get a valid number that is different from x. So I guess it still can be valid. So I guess this case here is if it's the same, right? This is like if it's different. Might want to turn on the music down a tiny bit more, slightly louder than you. All right, bro. I'll turn that shit down. Is that better? I hope that's better. My mic is kind of aids. It kind of has a little bit of static noise sometimes, but I don't know. Okay, so if it's the same, if it's different, and then I guess this is like if it's fucked, right? If it's different, what do we want to do here? Rotated num does not equal to the last digit. So here we know that now we just want to build a string, right? Right, and so I build the int, not the string. Right, we just want to build the int here too. So we need a int new num, right? That's good. Sweet. Cool, cool. We got our new num here. Trying to think. How do you build the string? How do we add it to an int? I think we got to take the modulo again or something. Let's see. How do we build an int from here? I'm just trying to think about the different spots, like how do we add in the different spots? But this is also, what is this? I think default initialization is default. I think it's 0 in C++, but honestly I'm not really 100% sure. It needs not initialized to contain the intermediate random garbage value from memory. Oh shit. If it is a global or static, it is initialized to 0. Okay. Maybe this should be 0 or something. Yeah, let's just leave it at 0. We don't want it to be some garbage value. Okay, so we want new num is equal to new num times 10, so to add one digit over, then plus the rotated num. So that's what we want to, we want that here as well. And this is just a brute force. I think it should pass with brute force. Rotated num, if it's fucked here, then we want to continue. We have our res value here, so we want to increment this every time. So don't need increment here, but if it comes down here and it's finally not valid, so if it is valid, then we do a final check down here, right? Final check if it's valid, right? And our final check is, well, if the number is different, then we can, then it is valid, but if it's the same, it doesn't work. So actually we probably need our new num to be Oh no, wouldn't want to be outside the while. No. We want it inside. So we want our final check here. Else. Final check. I think we're missing we're missing a bracket here. Let's put a bracket. So we do our final check here. Okay, well, if new int is count new int. I guess we kind of these variables shitty, but if new num I guess this is just invalid here. I mean, we're not even using new int again. Honestly, we might as well just get rid of this and just put count. Actually, no, low-key, we need to keep that. We need to go through all the values. We're just checking one value here. We can just finish this check here. So if new num does not equal count, then we can increase our counter. Otherwise, we literally just don't do anything, right? Increase counter, we don't do anything. But here, we're gonna need to loop through the new int, so we'd probably go new int is equal to count. I'm trying to think here. How do we loop through this number? Because our count could be 1, it could be 10, it could be 4,000, right? So, for values and int. It's 4, 5, 6, whatever. Let's see. Yeah, we could do another while. Okay. With our while here, don't need a for. We can do so while our new int is greater than 0, then we can execute all this, right? Grab our last digit here. Simulate the rotation. UN simulate the rotation. New number 0. Let's get rid of this. Put this over here. Data num. Grab all this bullshit here. So here we simulate the rotation, we grab, oh, what the hell, we have our if here, let's grab all this, move this over, we grab our rotated num, we check all this stuff here, then this final check has to be outside this now, as we build the number, it has to be outside the scope here. Hey yo, where have you been? Dude, I've been working. I streamed like 5 days ago, but I've been working. I also played a shit ton of Rainbow Six Siege last night. I couldn't stop playing. I've been trying to get to plat. Let's do this final check here. Inside of this scope here, so that's good. We got our new num here. While a new int is greater than 0, we do all this. We take this value. Now we need to divide our new int by 10. So new int needs to be divided by 10 and assigned to it. To be honest, I was thinking about you a few days ago. Like, there was a boy who used to code. I thought you might get a job and then left YouTube. Hang on, let me read that again. To be honest, I was thinking about you a few days ago. Like, there was a boy who used to code. I thought you might get a job and left YouTube. No. I mean, I did leave for a little bit. Siege servers in my region is dead due to war. Damn, bro. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I did a programming every day series for a little while, but I wanted to get back in the stream, but you know, I was getting adjusted to work and stuff, and to be honest, I was also being a bit lazy. I think I could have done it. I mean, I feel like, you know, I don't really believe in that. I feel like, you know, you really could do anything if you really wanted to, but it was nice to take a break, I guess, in a way, but yeah. We also need to increment our count here, so count plus or equal to 1. Increment count. Okay, I think this should work here. So we have a new int, new num. While the new int is greater than 0, we grab the last digit, we rotate it, we check if it's rotated. If it's -1, it's fucked. If it's this, it's different. We add it. Otherwise, it's the same. We add it. Then we divide the new int by 10. We keep looping. Then we do a final check here. If the new num does not equal the count, we increment. That's our counter here. We increment that. Otherwise, we increment our normal count here because we want to keep looping. And then finally, we return our value. Let's see how that goes. How many languages do you practice daily? TLE. Oh fuck. How many languages do I practice daily? I usually just like to do my personal projects in C++. I do web projects too for people if they need stuff. I do a lot of back-end development at my job. A lot of .NET and other things like that. I got a TLE here, that's an L. I don't really... I thought maybe I would be able to pass it with these constraints, but maybe not. Okay, it's because it's the continue here. Oh, right, I don't want to continue anymore. I want to break here, right? We can have a flag up here and changed is false. Then we can change this. Changed is equal to true. Alright, while count is less than n and it's false, then we continue. Right? Actually, maybe we can just count and change this false. We do this. Okay. Now we got an extra number here. What is the video template, lol? Ah, dude, yeah, I just randomly generated some bullshit with AI, dude. Yeah. I didn't really know what to do, so I just put something as stupid as it could be. We're getting a 5 here. What the hell is happening here? Ten is a 5. What is happening here? How could we get 5 here? Well, 0, 1, and 8 rotate to themselves. We have 2, 5, 6, and 9. How would we get 5 here? Damn, bro. I don't even know how we would get 5 here, and I can't even step through this. How would we get 5? How is that even possible? 0.
What are people saying about my Phantom Power sofa?
I love the cloudy feeling of the recliner.
How about that Consumer Reports recommended Copper Radiance mattress?
Ken S. calls heavenly rest.
I think this needs to be greater than or equal to 0.
Expectations have been met.
And for Linda L,
Right.
the modular Bob is...
The couch of my dreams. Oh my Bob. Bob's Discount Furniture.
TLE. Nope. Doesn't have to be greater than or equal to 0. False. Oh, why do we do int here? What is going on? Ooh, valid is equal to true. Let's do valid is equal to false. Changed is equal to true. These are our two cases here. Changed is true, valid goes to false. Get rid of this. If new number does not equal count, and changed, and valid. I guess valid should be true, so and valid. You know, in my college, they are teaching us DSA and CPP with the worst kind of DSA you can ever imagine. No practice, just teacher comes in class, reads off slides. And I laugh, he say, write the stuff in MS Word document. It's no project is given to us, even the students are learning or not. Goddamn. Yeah, I mean, that was the same with me, bro. Like, I feel like if you really want to learn, you gotta put in the work yourself. There we go. Type shit. Hopefully this passes. 2, 3, 4. Expected 2, 4, 7. Okay, what about maybe this here? We'll pass. There we go. Okay, cool. So we have to get rid of that. I mean, we don't need, doesn't really need to be changed, right? I guess there we were checking, what were we checking? New number does not equal count. I guess maybe that is invalid in a way. Okay, whatever. It passed. So, cool. Let's jump back to the project. Yeah, for me, bro, like with DSA stuff, I just like, I don't know. I just taught myself. And to be honest, bro, like I've solved like 620 LeetCode problems. I know that's probably like super cringe, but I'm telling you, dude, like you'll really learn DSA if you just like do a problem a day, you know? So like, that's what I would recommend. It's really taught me a lot. And, you know, I feel like I don't feel like I'm like the best ever, but you know, I'm, you know, pretty decent, I would say. Have I tried Claude Code? Yes, I have. I do it. I use it at work. I don't really like to use, I don't really like to use AI on these sort of projects that much, because now I do use AI to research and things like that, obviously, but you know, and get, you know, quick, you know, if I need to find something like how to write some syntax, you know, I do that, but I don't really like to, you know, use a lot of AI on my personal projects, because I feel like it, in a way, it takes away the satisfaction, you know, and I guess the, like, what's the point? You know, I know I could generate this. Like, I think Claude, like, for what I've done, I mean, this has taken me like a month or two to do, like, just working on it slowly, but you know, Claude could generate this in 2 seconds, you know, and like probably, you know, so, and probably even better than I ever could, right? But I guess it takes away the satisfaction and the fun. You know, the fun to me is the programming part of it, you know, the understanding, the problem solving, you know. I know you can probably get Claude to generate and you can understand it, but I feel like it's not really the same in a way, and it takes away the fun out of it. You know, I kind of like to do this as a hobby more than anything. And I'm not really like that good of a programmer or anything. It's just a hobby, I guess. yeah, this is what I got so far. It's laggy as fuck, so we're gonna try and fix this today. We're gonna try and, again, I haven't done a lot of multi-threaded programming in a while, but you know, since college, and to be honest, all of it's gone out the window. But so I got to kind of figure out how to do that. But I think I have a general idea about what's required. But what's your thoughts on the sudden AI boom, like AI is taking over and layoff type shit? Yeah, type shit. What do I think? I mean, you know, it is what it is. Like, I don't really know. You know, I mean, if AI takes my job, which, you know, might eventually will, you know, I mean, I just take the L, I guess, you know. I mean, I'm still always gonna code, I'm still always gonna program. Like, again, it's a hobby, you know. If my job, my professional job isn't programming, it isn't programming, you know, I'll figure out what that is. But you know, I just enjoy doing it on the side, and I always have since I was a kid. So that's just what I like to do for fun. So sometimes you take the L, bro. But yeah, so okay, we're gonna try and fix this. We're gonna kind of lay out kind of what, you know, the goal is. Let's figure this out. Okay, so scout draw. So I did a little bit of research before this, and the way that we probably want to implement this is so in our application here, probably going to want two methods, right? One being, I wrote some notes here. So let's grab some text here. I don't want to draw. The goal is we want to move our terrain generation, right, to a worker thread. Terrain generation to a worker thread. Right now we have it all kind of sequentially in our application.cpp, so we kind of currently just build chunks around the camera position. So obviously kind of simulating a render distance in sort of a way. You know, we have our render distance here, and we generate all the chunks around an 8x8, kind of like how, you know, Minecraft does in a way. And we kind of want to change this. So yeah, we still generate the chunks around our camera, but we have some sort of worker thread that pushes already generated chunks, and then our main thread can go through and do all our draw calls, you know, like, because we obviously don't want to have multiple threads, you know, simulating draw calls, or else, you know, that's just obviously not going to work, right? At least, I mean, maybe it can. I'm not really that advanced. Maybe it's probably possible in a way, but from my understanding, I'm trying to do the most simple optimizations and kind of build from there. Again, you know, I'm not really the GOAT programmer or anything, but you know, this is all still quite new to me too. So so really these generate chunk methods. So here we have the render distance, then we generate the chunk, right? We grab this chunk, and then once we've kind of got a chunk, what is this, a void method? We just generate the chunk. We want to store that in a worker thread and then push that to the main thread to then simulate asynchronous chunks. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. So we do have our map here that simulates a chunk position to a chunk. Yes. Members m_all chunks. Are we even using this? Maybe we're not even using this anymore. Let's see. Oh, bro. Would you prefer to do game dev as a job if it paid well? I don't know. I mean, yeah. You know, I feel like maybe in the future, like, if a job was to come my way, I wouldn't say no or anything. I don't know if I'm experienced enough in game dev to be able to have a professional job. I mean, then again, I've only been working for 4 months, so I'm not really super knowledgeable or anything. So, you know, maybe it is possible in a way. I guess I wouldn't say no, but, you know, I feel like game dev, I don't know, playing games. I mean, I still play games, and game dev is kind of, games is what got me into programming in the first place. So, but yeah, see the generate chunk. Are we ever using m underscore all chunks? Oh, we are. Okay, here we go. So we are using it. So we get the chunk, we find it, turn null pointer. If it doesn't exist, we return it. Has chunk, load chunk. Yeah, so I guess I would, but I don't know. I'm still quite new to C++. I haven't really been doing it for even a year yet. So I'm still like reading books and trying to get better and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, probably. So okay, so we guess what, like inputting here in a way. Inputting. Which headset are you using, Max? I think I'm using the Razer Barracuda. Yeah, wireless gaming headset. Yeah, I bought mine from Walmart too. Yeah, using this one here. So it's pretty nice. I mean, it has long battery life. I've had it for about a year now, so it's been pretty good. Okay, let's think here. Probably gonna need new methods here, so guess this is our chunk data. So what are the two methods I have over here? Has chunk on load chunk from world position. So let's do like an add chunk. So we can do void add chunk that takes in a chunk position. Chunk pos chunk. I guess technically this would be a. I'm still get confused with const correctness here, but I think this would be a const method. I guess we can double check. Because really here we're just going to be adding. I get confused with const correctness. Again, I don't have a lot of experience, so cool type shit. Thank you, bro. Let's see here, add chunk. This be const if I am just putting it in unordered map. This function does not modify the state of the object. Okay, so it's the state, not. So this wouldn't be const. We want an add chunk. We probably want a create chunk. Yes, chunk. Create chunk. We create a chunk. What parameters are we gonna have? I don't know. I don't think anything. how will we create the chunk? We need the position, so I guess this is not necessarily a chunk. I mean, what is a chunk position again? It's just an X and a Z, so probably shouldn't be chunk. I mean, that's technically wrong. I don't know why I still have that, but I guess we're gonna call these pos, because these are probably gonna be methods we're not gonna use. Pos. So if we create a chunk here, are we modifying the state here? Let's ask. So would this be a const method? Here I'd be just creating a new chunk and loading chunk generation. I feel like this is the hardest part in C++ for me, is like const correctness. If it only builds a chunk and returns a chunk, then it's const. Okay. Modify any member of the class. Okay, so this doesn't actually modify any member variable of the class. So I guess, okay, this can be const. Okay, I'm trying to get better at this. So let's do const. Cool. So we got our new methods here. So we have our void add chunk. We have our chunk pos position, and then we have our chunk. Oops, we forgot to put our create chunk. We want our world add chunk, create chunk, chunk pos, const. Cool. So we got our new methods here now. Let's take a look at our application here. So this is kind of our top level God class in a way. So we generate the chunks around the camera and we pass in the camera chunk. So each frame, this camera, oh no, this is the init function, whoops. There's our update. We generate the chunks around the camera chunk, unload the chunks around the camera. So grab the chunk position, we pass in the chunk, generate the chunk, add it. So this is kind of what we want to do here. Trying to think here. Now if we add a chunk, we probably want a actual chunk, right? Or can we look up the position here? I guess in this way we don't know where it's stored, right? Followed you on LinkedIn and GitHub. Thanks, man. I'll follow you back. I appreciate you being here, bro. Thanks. It's nice to have people in the chat, you know, sometimes. Like, I don't usually get a lot, but it's nice. Chunk. Okay, so when we add this chunk, we want to do underscore and all chunks dots. What do we want to do? In place back. In place. Did I spell it wrong? Try in place. What is m underscore chunks again? Chunk position and a chunk. Map. Okay, we don't have in place back here. Constructs element in place. Guess we'll just be in place then. Shit, where did that go? So stood string, make pair. Use pairs template constructor. Duplicate key has no effect. So I guess we just want to put the key in the value. So yeah, we do need the chunk here. So in place, we want the position, then the chunk.
Picture this. Saving up to 10% when you bundle your home and auto insurance with
I think we
USAA.
want to...
Some things just click.
I think this is technically...
Get a quote today.
I think this requires a stood move here. Yeah.
You can unlock more than ever with the American
So move
Express
view function. Chunk is passed by value. It's already a copy. Remove the original. Yeah, inside the function. Chunk is now a named variable. Do we have to pass this by value?
Enjoy that can't miss show with the $300 digital entertainment credit. And travel the world with the $600 hotel credit.
This is where I need to get
For experiences
better
like no
understanding.
other, get the card.
Can we pass it by a reference?
There's nothing like platinum.
This does no copy when calling the function, but copy happens when inserting into the map. Stick with what you had. Sex both L values and R values. No surprises for the caller. Man, this stuff confuses the hell out of me. This protein shake is fire. Ugh. Change the water now. I think stood move is required here. Expected this. The reason why we're copying into the function, and then we technically copy again into the map. So this just, yeah, this just take all the data and put in the map. Okay. I guess this stuff comes to with experience, but gotta get better. All right, bro. See you again soon. It was good to see you back again after a long time. Thanks, bro. Yeah, good to see you again too, bro. Thanks for stopping by, bro. Okay, this create chunk method here, I think should literally just have the same terrain loop. Have a look at our terrain loop. I believe it's over here. Generate chunks around camera. Here we generate the chunk, the position. M_world generate chunk position. here we insert. Trying to think. Create the chunk. We have an add chunk method, we have a create chunk method. Chunk. So where do we currently create the chunk? That's where we need to chunk pause. We generate the chunk here. I think we create the chunk. MS chunk start trying in place position. So I think we should literally just replace this method here, right? So instead of doing this here, we want to generate these chunks here. I guess we want to take this method here. We generate the chunks. This is a void method. So we want to take this, come into create chunk. Get biome. It was good, dude. What's the progress so far? Well, we've got multiple different biomes now. I'm just trying to optimize this a little bit because right now it's all running off just, you know, sequentially in the main thread. I'm trying to do the chunk generation in some background workers. So that's currently what I'm trying to do right now. Get biome. So what is going on here? Biome, world, get biome. Should have access to all this. Why are you... Chunk, create chunk. Did I... Function uses 16,400 bytes of stack. Consider moving data to heap. Why? Why don't she like this? I don't know. Object type is const world. Ah, okay. So maybe this shouldn't be const. Yo, end of life, dude. What's up, bro? Why doesn't it like this one either? Moving data to heap. Create chunk. We pass in a position, okay. Hmm. Okay. So it's because this is const, so these aren't const here, this get biome. This get biome doesn't... Get biome here needs to be const as well. Const. This get surface block is also const too, it's not modifying the world map. So... let's return const here. And now this should be fine here. Okay, so this is now const. Why am I getting this error here? That won't do anything. Chunk. Set block chunk. So I think this is good. So this does the terrain generation by itself. Terrain generation. Right. We return the chunk here. Now we probably want to move that chunk into add chunk. So when we do the create chunk, go back to application.cpp. Generate chunks around the camera. Chunk pause, camera chunk. m_world, generate chunk, position. So this should call the create chunk method now and pass in the create chunk method. Yeah, so this should call create chunk. Just call create chunk. Okay. m_world create chunk. This returns a chunk. So then we have our add chunk here that does a stud move and stores it in m_chunk as an L value. I think. I hope. So now in this method here. Holy shit, dude. Where are we going? Generate chunk, I guess, is deprecated now. I mean, we don't even use it anymore. Then we do chunk is equal to that. Then we do m_world add chunk. Chunk pause. We can pass in our position and our create, and our chunk. Oh, what the hell just happened? Cool. Why are you hating on me? Is consider moving some data to heap. Okay. So what is this? If mesh chunks dot contains position. Continue. Type shit get chunk. We already have the chunk, so we don't need to do that anymore. If current chunk, we then simulate it. We then build our chunk mesher. This is the GPU data that we don't want to mess with. We just want to do chunk generation by itself. So application.cpp. Maybe we don't want to do this yet. Let's get rid of this actually. put it back to what it was earlier. We know, I think this method should probably be deprecated. Position. Okay. This is all const. This is still const. Yeah, okay. So I think we need to go to application.cpp. This is the part where I'm a little bit confused. In our init function, we're probably going to have to start out with generating chunks, and I'm not really too sure how to do this because I've never done this before. So I guess this is where we probably need to pull up ChatGPT here. Let's take a look. How to use multi-threads to generate chunks. What is required? I think I've ever done this before, so. Okay, yeah, this is what we want to do. Worker thread creates a chunk, builds mesh data. We're just doing this, not this. Push back something like this. Struct chunk build result. Between threads, they need a mutex. Okay, that makes sense. A thread can sleep until work exists. Condition variable. Atomic running flag. Most important rule, do not do this on worker threads. Yes, we know that. Did the research already for that. Workers should create CPU side data. Okay, so we've kind of got that going already. We've got to create chunk, we got an add chunk. World snapshot world. Upload mesh. Start simple, do not immediately build a giant thread pool. Start with thread m1 worker. We've got a queue, results, request mutex, result mutex, condition variable, upgrade to multiple workers. So, first step here, we should probably build a result array. So, let's create a new struct here. Do a struct of a chunk position, pos, and a chunk. Guess this is our struct. What do we want to call this? Like finished chunk, something like that. That holds our position and holds our chunk. Makes sense. What do we want to move from here? So I guess we want to follow along with what GPT says. We want all this shit here. So we want a m_worker, worker, a request, a result. We have a queue for results. We have a queue for requests. We have two mutexes, a condition variable, and then if it's running or not. Interesting. Okay. So I guess we probably want to add this to application.h. So let's do like, call this like thread shit. What do we need on here? We need a worker thread. multithread worker. I think we need to include this though. What are all our includes? Include memory, include unordered set, window.h, include mc.h. I guess we can just do it over here. Hashtag include mutex. We want include q, include thread, include atomic. Okay. So we got our worker thread. I guess we can call this like maybe a chunk worker or something. Be a little bit more explicit. We want a stud mutex m underscore. What do we call this? Junk mutex. Do we want? Yeah, I guess we want to keep these as members. I would assume probably.
Stay connected with the 3 2 1s of 0 and reconcile on your own time. 3. Tap on your bank account. 2. See what suggested transactions appear. And 1. Start reconciling away. Easy as that.
Stood
Try
queue.
0 today.
Chunk pause. M underscore requested chunk. Stood queue. Then we want a chunk here. Would be our M underscore finished chunk. Wait, no, not our finished chunk. It would want to be our, I think, a finished chunk type, no? Yeah, finished chunk type, I would think, yeah. Requested. Stood unordered set. Chunk pause. Chunk. Shit, how did I do it over here? Chunk pause hash. Do I have access to this over here? Yeah, well done, H. Chunk pause hash. Generate, what do we call this? Like chunk. Oh my gosh, dude, what do I call this? Like chunk something? Chunk. What's a descriptive name for this, bro? I don't know. Requested chunks. This is where we're going to put our requested chunks, and then in here we can do m underscore like new chunks. I don't know. Chunk job. Yeah, let's do that. M underscore chunk job. Got a requested chunk. And then we need our, let's move this over here. Oh, I guess our shit ended. What the hell? We want a condition variable and a atomic. I gotta think about what these are exactly for. What are these for? thread system behave condition variable. It'll lets a worker thread sleep until there's work instead of constantly checking. Okay. Because multiple threads read write at the same time. Why atomic worker thread? Main thread shut down. Keep running or shut down. Okay. Cool. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so it's stood atomic bool m underscore stop chunk worker. Originally is false. Okay. All right. So we got all our thread stuff. Okay, let's take a look what's needed here now. This is all completely new to me, so I guess not fully new to me, but just haven't had enough experience doing this sort of stuff, so. Mental model here. Okay, we want to request the queue, make chunk this, build the chunk data. Kind of. Okay. How to build from here? Damn, I don't even know how to build this chunk worker, but I would assume we would probably do it in our init function. Where is the init function? Here, let's just like, maybe after we make the world, create the camera. Thread function, make thread worker. Underscore chunk worker. Making Tetris in Python for a college assessment, lol. Sounds fun. We could pick whatever program we wanted to do. That's cool. Tetris sounds fun, bro. I don't even know how to even do this, bro. Like, this is completely new to me. Like, yeah, I got no idea, bro. I literally have no idea. I literally have no fucking idea. Let's see, I got this. Member variables. How would I generate the worker thread in my init function? I don't have experience with okay. Loop over m underscore chunk job and make shutdown weak. I think I probably need to watch a video on this, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I am not familiar with this stuff. The wait lock. Anyone familiar? Oh, I was gonna say ask AI, but you pulled up ChatGPT right after I thought. Yeah, yeah. I think I probably gotta watch a video on this. I'm just not super familiar with what's going on. I have a general idea, but I'm just not fully grasping what needs to be done, I guess. I mean, we made some progress today. I think it still should start. I guess I kind of... I don't think there should be errors. I don't think we changed anything. No, never mind, there is. Okay. Oh, expected. Oh, let's get rid of this. There's the next error before identified chunk pause. Let's try and rebuild again. Oh, what are my other errors? Matching token found. What did I do here? Whoops, I am missing a bracket. Nice. You can see how slow it is. Yeah. Cool. I mean, we aren't calling any of the new methods we made. I'm just not fully 100% sure about how this works. Where's my... Oh, not Copilot. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna end the stream there. I think I gotta watch a little bit of multi-threaded programming, and I think that's pretty boring if I was to put this on the stream. It's been a while since I've done it, and I've only done it in university assignments, so I don't really count that because they were like stupid timer simulations, so that were really easy. So I think I gotta do a little bit of research before I continue with the implementation. But I'll be streaming again tomorrow, and we'll hopefully finish this tomorrow after I do a little bit of research and get a little bit of an idea about maybe I need to look at some other projects and kind of see how they're doing it. But yeah, I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you guys all for, I mean, this is probably the most people I've ever had in a stream, so it's pretty cool. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. See you later. Oh, before I leave, have a good one. Yeah, you too. If you're interested, you guys should follow my socials. I got my GitHub in the description. There's also a Discord. You can see when I go live. I think my LinkedIn's there. I mean, LinkedIn doesn't really matter, but yeah, if you guys want to follow my stuff, I'd really appreciate it. If not, it's all good. But yeah, sounds good.